Yeah, I'm not liking the mage. To be honest, the mage is pretty bad. Alright everyone, welcome back to the channel. As you know, we finished Twin Mirror a few days ago. However, I learned that my ending, though it was good, there was quite a bit of the story that was still left untold. So that kind of intrigued me. I also realized that I did not show the statistics for my choices going forward. I mean, from my first playthrough. And there's also a few things I wanted to validate, I guess you could say, based on the first playthrough and how everything went out. So, let me see. No choice has been made in this scene yet. That's unfortunate. Oh, okay, so I can go. So let me go all the way back to the beginning. I promised Joan I'd ask questions. Okay, so this one was pretty much split down the middle. Almost. Like 84% said they would ask questions about her father's death, about Nick's death. Whereas... Oh, okay, never mind. So the majority of people decided to investigate Nick's death. And it looks like... the majority of people were happy to see Walter, or hug Walter. Welcome from the miners. 60% of people ignored the miners who tried to pick a fight. I found it hard to see all these pictures of Nick on the memorial. I don't even know why that's a percentage choice. I'm seeing Anna tomorrow at the cafe. So I guess you have an option not to see Anna? A drink to Nick. I agreed to toast Nick with his friends. 45% of people did this. That's interesting because I don't see why you wouldn't. Ethan is coming. I faced up to Ethan when he found me in the trash bar. So the majority of people decided not to even I guess bother with Ethan, didn't apologize. And those who, wow, so those who did deal with Ethan apparently apologized, and I was one of the few who didn't. One of the 19% who didn't. I told Anna the truth when she asked me about Dennis. 82% did this. So I'm wondering if these yellow choices, these yellow words, are actually choices that affect the story. I talked to Kathy in the drugstore, so apparently you don't have to talk to Kathy. You don't have to listen to Joan. Well, I mean, some of this stuff is mandatory. Listening to Declan. I listened to Declan rant about Basswood going to the dogs. I took time to chat with Christina. So 67% did that. I didn't waste time talking to Tara. So that was split. But I can understand that because it's kind of interesting, I guess, to see what she would ramble on about. Blood and ink, cops or not, I decided to listen to Anna and call the cops after finding Dennis. The majority of people decided to make that decision as well. With Anna or not, I accepted Anna's offer to come with me to the crash site. 77% did that. Okay. I promised to Joe. Who is Joe again? I promised Joe. Oh, okay, that's Anna's father. Wow. Looks like, what is it? 15% decided not to make the promise. I didn't want Anna to dwell on her sorrows. Looks like 84% decided to clean up the house as well. Desperate to convince Joan to go home, I told her the truth about her father's death. Convinced Joan. I failed to talk Joan out of running away, so I had to make a tough choice. So apparently you can talk her out of running away. That's interesting. Double trouble. I was trying to focus on Anna instead of listening to him. I refused to listen to him while I was talking to Anna. Refuge. I didn't see the point in talking to Tyler and JR. I slammed Dickie against the wall to get the truth out of him. So apparently a lot of people did not, I guess they didn't talk to Dickie for that long, first off. Second off, they didn't, when Tyler and JR finally put the fire out and they come up and confront you, it looks like 55% of people decided to talk to them rather than just grab Anna and leave. I chose to keep him. So I was correct in that one of the choices was to let him stay and the other was to, be on my own. And looks like the majority of people decided not to keep him. I managed to distract Declan and protect Anna. 30% of people did not, apparently. So what I want to do now is I want to start a new game and make different choices and see what the outcome of those choices will be. And since I already know where to go, so it's not going to be a lot of wandering around. So we're going to go into a new game, and this time I want to see.
The skies are finally clearing up after a light rainfall.
Let me see if I can't skip. Nope, can't skip.
The weather's approaching 49 degrees, so we've got a...
That the imaginary friend.
Even if it does mean nothing stays
him.
hidden in here. Not even me.
So we're moving along. We're not going to check any of the memories because we've already done that in the first playthrough. So we already know what this is about. That's where he meets Anna for the first time. And I wonder if at this point, if Nick and Anna are already together. Like, I think they're already, I know for sure Nick and Anna are together before this scene up here where Sam proposes. That much I know. The question is, how soon?
What is it? Someone skinny dipping?
Anna, you really need to see this.
I can't even see. Something's blocking it.
Okay, so that does look like the Anna in the present.
Sam, what are you doing?
I'm trying to be romantic.
What? Wait. Please don't tell me you're proposing.
I'm down on one knee, a ring. What else would I be doing? You look like I just ran over your grandma.
And see, at first I was so mad at
Silence
Anna.
is really starting to scare me now.
I was so
Anna,
mad at her at this point.
Please say something.
But then,
Sam, put that away. Come on. I don't want a ring. I don't need a ring. You should know that. We've discussed it before.
now see, I'm gonna be honest with you. That part I missed. That part I missed. I don't remember her saying, we discussed this before, you know this. I don't remember her saying that last time. So that's something I missed from the beginning.
We weren't happy. She was the one brave enough to face that. Lost in my head again. How much time did I miss?
I feel so sorry for Joan, but are there any stats? I'm about to say I don't think there's any stats I could
I missed
possibly.
the funeral. Maybe it's for the best. On the bright side, Nick's not alive for me to let him down again.
And see, that's the thing. It's like let him down, but he let you down. He was the one that, you know.
Sorry, Walter, but I don't think I'll stick around.
Okay, this is one of the
Giving up
decisions
already?
I wanted to know if I could
Just a
make.
quick, depressing jaunt down memory lane and then you're gone? I know you think that the only thing waiting for you down there is hurt. Lots of hurt. And you might be right. But it's been 2 years. It's time to face the world. Time to adult. The good news, though, at least you don't have to do it alone.
Twin mirror. Now see, nothing in this first part right here lets you know that that dude is your imaginary friend. I mean, is him. Are you still coming? I really hope you can make it. It'll be at the Haven. So last time I said I'm almost there. This time I'll say Nick won't care.
Lost the signal. Some things never change.
Okay. So apparently they make you go there anyway. I think it would have been cool if you could just say, no, I'm not going to the wake. And I just get in my car and drive back to wherever I came from. And you never go back to Basswood, and there's never a crime to solve, and that is an actual ending. I think that would have been pretty cool. But apparently, that's not possible. Now, the next thing I wanted to check was if I could actually get into it with these miners. Let's see if I remember what I said
So,
here.
You left.
Joan, that's not fair.
You left.
Okay, so I think last time I said, let me explain. And again, no, I think I apologize. I'm not sure. But I'm going to do the other option this time. Let's not talk about this.
I don't really want to talk about this right now.
You don't want to talk about this? What are you, my age?
I'm not here for very long. I don't want to fight about the mistakes I've made.
Well, my dad died. I'm angry, and I want to fight about it.
I don't. And it takes two people to fight.
You're a jerk, and I'm gonna talk about it. It's been hard. My mom's been distant, even before all of this. I wish my dad was still here. I wish kids in class liked me. I wish you hadn't left. I wish a lot of things.
Well, I don't know how much me staying would have helped.
Wow.
You're the only one around here that doesn't treat me like a kid.
You are a kid.
Doesn't mean I like to be treated like one.
That's too bad. That's just too... Let me take my belt off, because that's just too bad, man.
Listen, I wanted to talk to you about what happened to Dad. It doesn't make sense. He wouldn't have just crashed. He drove like a grandma, you know that. It's wrong. I don't buy it.
I'm just in town for the funeral, Joan. I'm not a PI or a cop.
You're the closest thing I can talk to. Will you just look into it, Muley? Please?
She wants her father's death to mean something. But where does that lead?
One thing I want to note here. This appears to be the one and only time where you talk to him and everything in time freezes.
What if it leads to the truth?
If you notice
That could change
if you notice right now, Joan is completely frozen. She doesn't even blink, and it's almost like she doesn't. Well, it's not almost like it is. She does not hear him speaking to his imaginary friend. So I don't know if in reality she's just watching him stare straight forward without saying a word, or if he actually stopped time here to talk to this guy. But when I first saw this, I thought that this was kind of like some kind of special ability of his or whatnot. But later on in the game, when you're with Anna, he's talking to him in the back seat just like this. But Anna can hear him talking. She can't hear him, but she can hear Sam talking. And she doesn't know who he's talking to. She keeps asking him, like, who you talking to, whatnot. So, I don't know why this mechanic was removed, or if this was intentional, or what.
Everything. An hour ago, you wanted to run away. Now you want to start another investigation?
I never said that, though.
A few questions won't hurt anyone. Just tonight.
I don't understand.
To reassure her.
But as you can see, she's frozen in place.
He's awake. If you poke around, people may end up poking back. Okay, whatever you do, at least leave the kid out of it. It would be cruel to lead her on. Friends don't lie to each other, even if it means disappointing her again.
I also didn't notice one other thing, and I'm not going to pause it very much after this. But in the first playthrough, I did not realize that the imaginary friend has the same voice as Sam. I didn't realize that either.
It's your call.
It wouldn't be much of a different playthrough if I promised to look into it. But I feel like there are enough branching avenues in the promise choice that it can still be a different playthrough. I don't know what'll happen if I say keep her out of it. Can I save here? I cannot save here. So there's no interim saves. Keep her out of it or promise to look into it. Let's just go with this for now.
Okay, I'll see what I can see and all that.
the next part that I want to see is how to deal with these minors. Because these minors, they had some issues with some attitudes, and Dennis shouldn't have been the only one who got clocked that night. So let's see what happens here. And it is kind of like a different story now that you know all about Declan. It's like, how dare you?
Mr. Samuel Higgs, Big Shot investigative reporter.
Didn't think you'd ever be back in here.
I'd gladly slash your tires. But that mean you couldn't leave town. And you are.
Just really embracing those hick stereotypes, huh, Joel?
You heard what I said, boy. I ain't backing down.
Gentlemen. We get you good old boys another round. Mighty kind of you, Declan. You're not worth it, Higgs.
Yeah, you better sit down, son. Who you think you talking to?
Already, I see.
Declan, been a while.
Hey, careful. I'd rather not be working tonight. And you always seem to angry up everyone's blood.
Last time I believe I said he started it. If I tell him I'm just here for Nick,
I plan to be out of here by morning. Don't want to stay any more than you want me here.
Don't rush out of here on their account, but maybe don't dawdle either. You watch yourself.
Okay, so don't stay but don't go. You already didn't make sense from the beginning, my friend. Now a lot of these people. I
think it's time I go put up a photo at the memorial board.
Yeah, a lot of
That's
these
what
people
do,
I'm
right?
not even going to talk to.
You left.
No.
The infamous Sam. I've read that article you wrote on mine. You must have put in a lot of legwork on that.
Now, last time I said, what did you think of it? I'll say it took a lot of research.
It took reading thousands of public records, but a pattern emerged of willful negligence.
You are a bulldog. A dangerous man to anyone using power to exploit others.
That's nice of you to say.
Now, don't hesitate to drop by the pharmacy sometime.
Oh, and Sam, you...
But for now, I have a feeling you're not here for us.
Oh, right. Don't be a stranger, Sam.
Oh, shut up. How about you not kill another citizen of Basswood? I'm not gonna talk to Joan. I'm just gonna go ahead and
Kathy,
Sam, you actually came.
I'm surprised. I'm as surprised as you are.
Yeah, well, here I am. I'm just as surprised as you. How have you been?
Life in Basswood has been hard these last years. You'd know if you'd stayed. Joan was really hurt when you left town. Nick and I were never close after the breakup, and Joan's never had a lot of friends.
Yeah.
Maybe don't break her heart this time when you leave town. All right?
You know what? First of all, it's not my problem. If I gotta leave town, I just gotta leave town.
Your daughter thinks Nick's crash doesn't make sense.
She's a little girl who lost her father. She's confused right now. Don't you go encouraging her, or worse.
See, this is the kind of stuff that gets on my nerves. It's like people don't listen when you tell them something. I told you your daughter thinks her father's accident was not an accident. I didn't say I told Joan her father's accident was not an accident. I said she thinks that. That means she had to have told me. So why are you telling me not to tell her stuff? That gets on my
thoughts in her
nerves,
head.
man.
I frankly thought you knew better.
Do you think she has a point?
I think you should stay away from her.
Oh, you know what, Declan? Hey, Declan, she knows about your drug ring. I just want you to know that. You might want to take her out, you know what I'm saying? Not going to the Mind Palace. Let's go ahead and pin this up.
Sorry we lost touch. Sorry I lost touch. Rest up, big guy.
Anyway, cheers to Nick. A man that, unlike us, people actually liked. Speaking of which...
I don't know. I might just cut this out because nothing here has changed. So I'll be back with the next decision. Let me see. So can I just like let me see, use? Can I like go over here, just not even talk to Anna?
I didn't know you read Dickens, Ethan.
So I had to throw them all out on their ear, and only then did I realize.
Ah, Samuel, my...
I could talk to Declan right here. I don't remember if I talked to him or not. Let me see.
So, Sam, how's life been treating you?
Same as it treats everyone, I guess.
Same way it treats everyone. Some days are better than others.
Yeah, that's pretty optimistic, coming from you.
I try.
You staying in town long?
Not really. Why? You think I'm gonna disturb the peace or something?
Wouldn't be your first time. Have a nice evening, Sam.
I don't remember Kathy being over here with Joan. Let me see what this is all about.
Not now, Sam. Not now, Sam.
You'd think a kid at a bar would stand out more.
She doesn't. I was trying to see if you could move on without talking to Anna. But it looks like they're gonna make me talk to Anna. Let me see.
You should have been the one giving the eulogy, Samuel. No one knew what you did. Tom Sawyer.
Let me see if can stir up.
Sam, why don't you drink to Nick on the other side of the bar?
I mean, we can square up anytime. I'm good with that.
But no more than 3 sounds.
Yeah, so they're gonna make me talk to Anna in order to progress.
Anna?
Sam!
Now I hugged her back this time. But let's see what happens this way.
Sorry. Old habits. Why'd it take so long for you to darken my doorstep?
It hurts to come back, honestly.
I won't lie. It really hurt coming back. I stopped by Lookout Point on the way here.
Sam, why'd you do that to yourself? People around here have short tempers and long memories. But most of them mean well. Sam, the mine was gonna close anyways. Maybe in a year or 2, 5, if the Lord has a sense of humor. It was gonna run dry or have an even bigger disaster. It wasn't your fault.
Let me just state the obvious.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that. Doesn't make it easier, though.
It's gotta make it a little easier. When my father lost his legs, nobody knew the mine wasn't following regulations. You were the only one who started asking questions. Whenever people talk about you, he always says, you did the right thing.
Yeah, well, your dad's Joe. He's an oak. Unmoving and annoyingly supportive.
It wasn't just him. Nick thought your piece was great. He was actually jealous. He always wanted to write something that shook the pillars of heaven, as he used to put it. You know, Nick and I had moved in together. Started to get serious. But I think it's only now I realize how much I cared for him.
Now, last time I asked if they were together. Let's see what I say if I can imagine.
Yeah. That's, you two must be so hard.
Are you okay? You knew about us, right? He said he was gonna tell you.
Yeah, I knew, but knowing and, knowing are different.
Yeah, I guess they are.
That's weird. Why would he say he knew?
This was all nice. The funeral, the wake. Walter did a good job. But it all just makes me feel heavy. It makes my heart hurt. Like Nick's memory has been laid on top of me and I'm still carrying him.
I don't think I asked if Nick was murdered last time. I probably should have wrote down my choices from the earlier. Let's ask this question.
Nick's death. Do you know if he had any enemies? Working on anything dangerous? Whew. Now this is a real can of worms.
This is a wake.
I know that.
Do you? This isn't the time to be digging and pushing. You always do this. You always... I get it. You're still you, huh? You'll always still be you, Sam. I hope you never change, but I can't handle this right now.
And you know what?
I'm
You're
gonna
still
go home.
you.
I hate that his stuff is all over my house. Then drink and cry all night. You do what you need to do. See you around.
You're still you. Breaking up families.
Samuel, come. Have a round with me.
I need a drink or two. Or 3. And then I'll go.
Breaking up families. Stabbing people in the back. That's how you are.
So
you'll always
Nick
be
wasn't
Anna.
drunk, and me?
What happened last night? Oh, my head. Pills plus drinking. That was not my best idea. Did I black out or what? I can't think. God, what a headache. I feel like a small jackhammer in my left temple. Please let there be water. Is that... No, that's not water. That is vodka, the opposite of water. No food. I'll just throw it all up. No more beer. I need water.
Well, that's
No water.
something new.
Of course. At least it won't take me long to get my things.
Alright, so we are back. I skipped a lot of the drinking bar stuff because nothing really changed. There was... Only difference is, Anna doesn't say let's meet up tomorrow. Since I asked about Nick's death, she just said you're still Sam and walked away. So instead of looking in the mirror, let's see what happens if I look at this shirt first.
That's not good. That's... Where did I get this? What did I do?
Okay, now if I remember... If I remember right, I got caught last time, so let's see what happens if I can manage to escape. Danger. Now see, why didn't the words come up before? Behind you, I'm a killer. Prison. Give in. Hurt, death, jail time. Run, guilty. Take control. There we go. Now, those words weren't on that door, those doors last time. Danger behind you, I'm a killer. And where's him? No way out, prison, give in. Focus. That's weird. I'm gonna have to go back and see, but I don't believe.
You're doing good. Really good. You're almost there.
I don't believe that. Those options were on those doors last time. Now, I chose to...
Focus. Choose. Act. Deliberately. If I run, you face what happened. The answer is hide. It's never happened. Going on.
Or I could choose...
Don't. Just go. Or as fast as I can.
So let's see what happens if I choose to run away instead of facing the truth.
I can't. I've run from my problems long enough.
Alright, so it's just like I thought from before. They're not gonna give you an option to... See, it would have been cool if they gave you an option to just leave town. But it's looking like that's not the case.
Just go. Or as fast as I hide. It's never happened.
Yeah, let's see what happens if I try and hide.
Going on. If I run, I'll keep running.
Okay, so basically, I chose both options, and they forced me to pick face my problems.
Yes, answers. Good or bad, I need answers.
So, unfortunately, this confirms that there is literally no way to leave Basswood altogether.
I know what you're thinking. Stop thinking that. Pill.
So, a few things here. First off, I want to know. It's gonna be interesting to find out what happens when we're looking for Dennis, because we're not gonna have Anna to meet us at the restaurant anymore, since she walked away from us at the bar. So I want to see what happens there. I also want to see what happens if I just avoid Ethan altogether.
The more things change, the more they stay the same. Do you really think breaking and entering is a good idea? Used Ethan's hidden spare key, no breaking involved. I don't know if he'll see it that way. I could wait for the bar to open, or I could look for answers. I picked the latter.
So, I don't think there was anything I missed back here. Wait a minute.
Ethan and his parents. And I'm guessing that's his sister.
What?
He always thought they'd run the bar together.
That girl is his sister? What? Was that like I think that was that a memento? Nope, wasn't a memento for Ethan. But in case you're wondering, this from the first playthrough, that girl with the guitar is the one in the cove where we burned the bear. I did not know that was his sister. Does that say Ethan is the only successful business in town? That's sad. But I didn't know that, so I wonder now what'll happen if once he sees her in the cove. I wonder what happens next. Like, will he tell her?
Whoa. What happened here last night? First, look around.
Let's say near the
jukebox is not in the same place. Maybe it was involved in the fight somehow. That could be it, but I still have to figure out who was sitting next to me.
So, if it goes over to the jukebox, then we know Joel's hat is over there. So instead of saying Dennis this time, let's say Joel.
Joel's cap. Maybe he provoked me again after I'd had a few.
And let's see what happens now. Will it force me to say Ethan, or will it let me stick with Joel?
If the fight had ended here, the bar wouldn't be such a mess.
Yeah, it would, though. Like, look at this. This is a mess. So, Yeah, it looks like it's gonna force me to pick Ethan. Let's see what happens if we say it's Hugh.
The pharmacist's business card. Hope I didn't start picking on the elderly.
Are they gonna let me go at Hugh? If the fight had ended here, the bar wouldn't be in such a mess. So, looks like they're gonna force me to pick Dennis. So it's just as I thought, just as I mentioned from the other, from the first playthrough. They're gonna make you choose the right choice anyway. It looks like you can pick either one of the three, but they're just gonna make you. They're just gonna automatically have Sam rule out every wrong choice until you pick the right one. So. Looks like we've lost audio for some reason. Yeah, I don't know what happened, but after picking that second choice with Hugh, the sound cut out. So we're gonna choose to leave. I'm gonna see if the sound is still out. I'm just gonna cut it and restart the game. That's unfortunate. Yeah, the sound is out. I'm gonna have to restart the game and see if that fixes it. Now I'm gonna tell you something that's interesting here. We're gonna go ahead and cut this episode here, but one thing that is interesting is after I asked Anna about Nick's passing, if he was murdered or if he had any enemies or whatnot, she gets mad at him, mouths off, and storms off. And now Sam's imaginary friend doesn't even mention meeting Anna at the cafe. He just says, "I'll ask around and see what happens." So when see if it jogged anyone's memory. So when we come back, hopefully the sound will be back to be fixed again. Basically, what happened. I cut the video because there was really no change. I tried to select Joel as the person I fought in the bar, and it went through the whole fight. But then Sam says if it happened this way, the bar wouldn't be in such a mess. So then you had to choose again, so I chose Hugh, the pharmacist, and said he was the one that I got in the fight with. And as I played out the fight scene with Hugh, the game glitched and then the sound just cut out. The sound for everyone's voice just cut out. So I don't think that the developers intended for you to pick Hugh. But it's just as I thought from the first time. The main choices or the main points in the story can't be altered. Point one, Sam must investigate Nick's death. Like, there's nothing you can do. I believe there was a game called Way of the Samurai that's similar to this, but it's back in like the period of the samurais in Japan. And you had the option, like you go to this town and you can do quests, and then you go through the main quest if you want to, the sub quest. But you do have the option to just leave town and not do any of it, and that is considered an ending. And that would have been pretty cool if you could do that here. But no, the game forces you to investigate Nick's death, or at least go to his wake. And as the second observation is the bar fight. So, one thing I realized now that I didn't before was that Dennis was not a reporter. I thought that Dennis, I knew he worked for the Jungle, but I didn't pay attention to the fact that Sam said he was the IT guy. So that explains how Dennis was able to get or see Nick's emails to Walter. It's because he's pretty much the admin, so he can get into everybody's emails and whatnot. But the second main part of the story, which is the fight at the bar, cannot be altered in any way. It is always going to be Dennis and Sam. It cannot be Joel and Sam. It cannot be Hugh and Sam. And it makes sense that it wouldn't be Hugh and Sam, because Hugh's an old man. There's no way he could take Sam's while he's sober, let alone while he's drunk. But I think it would have been cool if, like, I guess the options I would have made would be to have like a different branch for each choice. So like if the player saw the hat next to the jukebox and was like, okay, so we must have fought Joel, and they selected Joel, if you wanted it to continue with the main story, you could have just let the player select Joel. And, of course, when he goes into town looking for Joel, the first place you go to, because apparently Joel is like down the street somewhere in front of the Jungle newspaper. So you could have the player, like whoever he talks to first, if he talks to Joel first, then he can say, well, I'm not worse for wear, Joe is not worse for wear, so it must not have been him. So it had to either be Hugh or Dennis. And then, like you can go to the pharmacist, look at Hugh, see that he's not beat up in any way. And then the player, and then Sam comes to the conclusion that it wasn't Joel or Hugh, it was Dennis that I fought. So I think they could have branched out the story in that way, so that like it would still come back in line with the main plot that you want of Dennis and Sam fighting, but you don't have to give off the appearance that you're actually doing detective work, because like the player is thinking, okay, if I don't get this right, there could be consequences, when in reality, if you don't get it right, Sam will automatically tell you it's not right and tell you to try again. And with only 3 options to choose from, it's not going to take long for the player to, go ahead and select the correct answer. So unfortunately, with our investigation on the replay so far, it's safe to assume that if you couldn't alter this investigation part, you won't be able to alter Nick's crash or the fire at the cove. So I think that much is clear. But yeah, we're going to leave the second playthrough here for now. When we come back, we will figure out who the new person is that's gonna tell us where Dennis is. And I'm actually gonna be a little upset if we run into Anna while looking for Dennis, and she tells us, well, Dennis is probably in the jungle because he works on weekends. Because if you thought enough to make it to where if Anna leaves you at the bar without saying we should meet up tomorrow, and you found a way to make it so you guys meet by chance and she tells you where Dennis is, then you had an opportunity to branch out a story of Sam thinking he fought Joel and Sam thinking he fought Hugh. But yeah, until next time, you all know what to do. Stay blessed.